All right, good morning, traders. Today is July 8th, 2026. My name Coach Kerrigan, lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. That's a day trading service for the hit and run candlesticks family. Thank you, everybody out there in social media. Thank you for following, liking, and subscribing to our content. Thank you for the kind words. Big shout out to people that share the content: Bob Jordan, John Jordan, Kathy, Sarah Roasted, Ed Carter, Rick Sadler. Appreciate that. Love that. Helping get the good word out there to the masses. Appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and get started this morning. Before I get started, I got a little announcement. This Thursday at noon, we're going to have a refresher on favorite chart patterns. You guys already know mine's a 10-minute uptrend. But anyways, favorite chart patterns. All right, so that's starts at noon with Doug, then myself at 1, and then Rick at 2. I will see you all in there. I will probably not be broadcasting inside the BYOB trading room. You will see me inside the combo room. All right, and how to get to the combo room is you log into your Hit and Run Candlesticks account right here. Go to your members page, and on the members page, just the BYOB members page, right next to the BYOB trading room is combo room. You simply press that, put in your credentials, and you're in. All right. So everybody's invited. Hope to see you all there. That starts Thursday at noon. All right. Let's take a look at the what happened yesterday. Well, today is the 8th, not the 7th. Hope I got that right. Yeah, pretty sure I got that right. No, I'm not sure I got that right. Let's take that down. And let's put up a different one. Here we go. Yep, there we go. All right, good morning. Thank you for being here. My SPY pivot this morning, 743.55 above it. I'm a bull, below it I'm a bear. And again, today, actually not today, yesterday, T2123 and Diamond Dow made new all-time highs. FNGU made an outside day. It's a higher high and a lower low. Closed over a bullish trap and over the flat 17 EMA. Nice to see it close over the 17. It's been a while since it's done that. QQQ made a lower high and a lower low. Qs are getting hammered right now. I don't know. Tech has kind of fallen out of favor. Think we got a little bit of a sector rotation going on in full force here. We'll see what happens. QQQ lower high, lower low, closed under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. IWM inside day, that's a lower high and a higher low, closed under a bullish trap but over the 17. SPY made a lower high, lower low, closed under a bullish trap but over the 17. SPY closed 10-minute downtrend, 2-hour consolidation. It's kind of right in the middle. It's hard to call it bullish or bearish. On the bigger time frame, we are bullish. All right, so again, Diamond Down, new all-time high. FNGU outside day. QQQ lower high, lower low. Same as with SPY and IWM inside day. All right, so gold and silver, both of them. Gold made outside day, closed inside a bullish trap under a falling 17 EMA. Still in that downtrend. Silver, lower high, lower low, closed under a bullish trap and under the falling 17 EMA. Still in a downtrend. UNG made a lower high, made a higher low and a higher high, closed over a bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. That one's still in a downtrend. USO, still in a downtrend. That may change. I did see reports on social media of attacks on U.S. ships in the Straits of Hormuz or in that Gulf over there in the Middle East. So we'll see what happens with that, okay? Kind of interested in trading that back up to the upside for a nice bounce. We'll see what happens. Anyways, It was left off yesterday in a downtrend, but it started the move up late in the day. So higher low, higher high, closed over a bearish trap, and but under the falling 17 EMA. I'm sure it's over the 17 by now. U.S. dollar index still in an uptrend, closed near the 101.818 area. So making a trip right back up there. Maybe it'll get a little higher low there. We'll see. SPY Max Pain is 747 with a put to call ratio of about 1.1 puts for each call that expires today at 4:15. Now, let me just say, if not war, I'm trying to say what it is. If we're going to be trading, I don't know, gunfire, missile fire over there, market's not going to like that. They're going to see the potential for traffic in and out of that area is going to come to a halt again, and there's a good chance, prices in the securities dip pretty hard today. We'll see what happens. All right, that's not a good sign. Anyways, again, I saw it on social media, so it could be just a rumor. Anyways, so we'll see. Anyways, if this is your first time seeing this page, these are all in daily uptrends over the 17 EMA. These are all in daily downtrends under the 17 EMA. If they got a little star, they're building out a bull flag or a launch pad to launch higher. If they got a dash, that means they started the breakout or they already launched higher and they're on their way up. Okay, so over here, bullish and over the 17 EMA. Over here, bearish and under the 17 EMA. Both of them on the daily chart. If they got a little dash, a star next to it, they're building out a platform, or otherwise known as a bear flag, from which to dive lower. Okay, so bullish and over the 17, bearish and under the 17. All right, let's take a look at yesterday. We saw pre-market price action under post-market price action. Okay, so that's going to lead us into a bearish bias, but still inside the upper third of the move up there, so it's still bullish. I did plan to trade a 5-minute uptrend over 750.60. That would have been the top of the pre-market consolidation up to the 752.50 area, which would be near the daily downtrend line. Okay, but should a 5-minute downtrend manifest, which it did, and trade below 749, plan to trade the downtrend down to 746.25. That would be intraday support down there, and then down to 744.90 gap fill. Didn't get down to 744.90 gap fill, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be there sometime today and fill that gap. All right, so let's take a peek at the market this morning, and we'll look at the 10-minute chart from yesterday. Okay, so you can see a little bit of daylight between the 3 and the 8, so 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. Kind of a 10-minute downtrend right there. On the 2-hour chart, we've got no daylight between the 3 and the 8, so going to call that just consolidation up there. Kind of in the middle between that high and this low, leaning more towards the high, but got down to here, kind of like the midpoint between all of this. So I'm just going to call it SPY 2-hour consolidation right there on the 2-hour chart. On the daily candle, we got a lower high and a lower low. We closed over a bullish trap over the flat 17 EMA up here. And remember, this is our origin of our rally back here in March, end of March, up there to make new all-time highs. We're in middle of quadrant 4, so we're bullish. All right, still bullish. And we're in a downtrend. We're in a dysfunctional downtrend where we were yesterday. Okay, so price seems to be moving down now. All right, but dysfunctional downtrend because ever since making, here's a low, we made a lower low. Ever since making the lower low, which didn't last but a couple minutes right there, price has been melting up, all right, or over to the right. Okay, so bullish dysfunctional downtrend. On the bigger time frames, the big ones, okay, weekly and monthly, both bullish and in uptrends. Notice nothing broken here on the 17. Nice green dots, nothing cutting through them, both on the weekly and on the monthly. Okay, so nothing cutting through there. So bullish and in uptrend weekly and monthly right there. Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. Start back here on the 10-minute chart. QQQ got, you can see daylight between the 3 and the 8, 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. 2-hour chart, got a 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. You can see the sticks and the 3 riding underneath a falling 8. And we got daylight between the 3 and the 8 here. That's the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA, so bearish downtrend coming into the close. On the daily candle, we've got a lower high and a lower low. We're closing underneath a bearish trap. All right, closing underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. And we are in the bottom of quadrant 4. So we're still bullish. We haven't made any lower lows. We might make lower lows today. Won't be surprised if we do that. QQQ, lower high, lower low. Still bullish. Hasn't made a lower low yet, but it probably will have one in there today. And in an uptrend still. Okay, so bullish and in an uptrend for QQQ. Weekly and monthly charts, same as SPY, still bullish and in uptrend, nothing broken. See the 17 right through here hasn't been broken, so we're still looking good there on the monthly, and of course the weekly. See nothing broken here on the 17. So nice bull flag up there. So bullish weekly and monthly right there. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow, because this one's going to be easy. On the daily chart, new all-time high. Okay, so it doesn't get any better than that. Here's the origin of the rally for SPY, QQQ, and Diamond Dow. All starts at the end of March, and we ripped up there and made some new all-time highs for the month of June on a lot of these indexes. So there's Diamond Dow, new all-time high. Obviously, it's going to be difficult to make a new all-time high without being bullish and in an uptrend, so which remains the same, still bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at IWM. IWM's a lower high, a lower low. We're closed underneath. I'm going to call it a bullish trap, but over the rising 17, middle of quadrant 4, that's bullish, and we have not made lower lows, so we're still in an uptrend for IWM. Let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU got a outside day that's a higher high and a lower low, and we closed over a bullish trap. We closed over the flat 17, starting to hook. Closed over the midpoint, almost closed over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line right here. So we're in the middle of quadrant 3. Remember, if it's in the upper third, it's bullish. Not quite there yet, so we're in the middle of quadrant 3, so that's just neutral. All right, and in a dysfunctional downtrend. See the low? They made a lower low, but ever since making the lower lows, they've done nothing but melt up or over to the right. So FNGU, neutral, dysfunctional downtrend right there. Let's take a look at, we just did SPY. I think we got them all. I'm pretty sure we got them all. All right, let's take a look at precious metals, silver and gold. Start off with silver, lower high, lower low, closed underneath the bullish trap, underneath the falling 17, underneath the midpoint. I'll pan out so you can see the midpoint. That's the midpoint of the quad lines. Here's the origin of our rally, 2022. There's the all-time high, way up there, made at the beginning of the year. This pink line happens to be the all-time high anchored VWAP. We have not made higher highs ever since we've been making, we got lows here, lows here, even some lows here. And we're making lower lows. So we're obviously in a downtrend, all right? And we are in the middle quadrant 2, so we're neutral. Neutral and in a downtrend. That's for silver. Gold's going to be kind of close to the same thing. Gold got an outside day. It's a higher high, a lower low. We closed inside of a bullish trap under the falling 17. under the all-time high anchored VWAP. In the middle of quadrant 3, that's going to be neutral. Again, upper third is bullish, lower third is bearish. That's going to be neutral for gold. And we haven't made any higher highs yet, so we're still in a downtrend. Neutral and in a downtrend for gold. Let's take a look at USO. All right, so USO, not moving too far yet. That might have some potential. We'll see. Yesterday's candle, higher low, higher high, closed over a bearish trap under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's a pink line. Price neutral, and we have not made any higher highs, so we're still in a downtrend. So neutral and in a downtrend for USO. UNG is a higher low and a higher high. They closed over a bearish trap, closed over a bullish cross and over the wavy 17 EMA. And you can see price has not made a higher high, so we're still in a downtrend. This one is all the way in the bottom of, in the middle of quadrant 1, so that's going to be bearish and still in a downtrend. We're underneath this 14-month high anchored VWAP right there, and we're underneath this midpoint. We're in the lower third, so we're bearish and still in a downtrend right there. Let's take a look at internals. Start off with T2101 and market participation or absolute market breadth index is dipping lower. We got a low yesterday. We made a lower low, so we're getting less and less participation here. Not a good sign. I give that credit to the bears. We don't want a situation where there's only a few products participating in the market movement. That doesn't make for good trading, and oftentimes investors don't see things moving. All right, they often sell, so that's a bearish clue right there. T2122 spent the day in the chop zone, and looks like a third of the day up here in the buy zone, and the rest of the day here in the buyer's chop zone. Okay, so that's the bulls holding it up here over the midpoint. That's showing me bullish control right there. So I'm going to give this one to the bulls. T2101 went to the bears. T2123 new all-time high. Bullish gap up. Bears never filled the gap. Obviously, I'm going to give that one to the bulls. And we made new all-time highs. We're up over that rising 200 SMA. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. So this is obviously bullish and in an uptrend. It just made new all-time highs. 3-bar chart, same product. Also bullish and in an uptrend up over that rising 200 SMA. All the way up there in quadrant 4. That's bullish. Top of quadrant 4. Bullish and in an uptrend. T2123. Let's take a look at FNGU on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so FNGU got a low here. That would have been a downtrend because you got a low here, and we made a lower low. But we turn around and we got a high here. We made a higher high. So we leave off yesterday into the close with an uptrend. All right, we were up over that hooking 200 SMA. This is the red line right here. Starting to hook. See how it came down, and now it's starting to rise. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. Like to see us get over the pink line. That's the all-time high anchored VWAP. Tested several times. You can see once back here, and a couple of times here, and obviously a couple of times here and there, right there. So FNGU, if I put the quad lines on here, it's going to be neutral. All right, see where include the whole thing. We're neutral right here in the middle of quadrant 2, and we're still in on the 15-minute chart. We're in an uptrend, so neutral and in an uptrend on the 15-minute chart. On U.S. dollar index, Okay, 6-month downtrend on the daily chart and 12-month bear flag on the daily chart, and starting to get some breakouts of this consolidation right through here now. Okay, so looking at this as possible. All right, so there is U.S. dollar index. Let's take a look at the market. Okay, again, we went over this, and I don't think I really explained it. All right, the market plan. We were looking at this. Should a 5-minute downtrend manifest and trade below 749? Plan to trade the downtrend down to 746.25. So we'll look at the 5-minute chart here on SPY. And you will see price got under, here's 750 right there. And we got underneath 749 right here. So we had a trade to the downside, and that took us down to the lows of 745.46. And our target was, our first target was 746.25. Obviously, we met our first target, and then price double bottomed right here yesterday. Made a higher low, failed to make a significant lower low, and price went back up there to find resistance. So they found resistance right here, right underneath prior price action. You can see this tail that comes down. That would be the valley between two peaks. And you can see we found resistance right up here at 749.34. All right, and then we made another trip all the way back down. All right, let's take a look at the economic package. We'll start off with Max Payne. Max Payne today is 747. Again, I don't really pay attention to that till Friday. Put to call ratio 1.1 put for each call that expires today in SPY. That's again SPY futures. Index options. Got tongue tied there. Index options expire at 4:15. Security options expire at 4 p.m. As far as earnings go and economic announcements, it is almost a clear schedule. We'll start off with earnings because that's going to be easy. We're back here on Wednesday. Again, all familiar names, but nothing has enough market cap to manipulate or move the market. Thursday, same thing, okay? All familiar names, not mostly familiar names, but nothing here has enough market cap to manipulate, move the market there. Friday, same deal, and Saturday, we're off. All right, so let's take a look at the economic calendar, and we'll see on Wednesday, what do we got today? MBIA mortgage applications at 7. We've got petroleum inventories and report at 10:30. That should be interesting. FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. Now, FOMC, I don't expect them to do a darn thing. Really, I don't think we get a rate cut or a rate hike till the end of the year. Or actually, even past the end of the year. I don't see them doing anything till we figure out if we can start peace, which we did over there in the Middle East, and then hold peace over there in the Middle East. But already I see reports of attacks from them on U.S. ships, so that's not going to be good for the U.S. markets. All right, so probably have to get a little later. All right, so that's that. Now, Thursday, we've got jobless claims at 8:30, existing home sales at 10, natural gas report, inventories and status 10:30, and that's it for Thursday. Friday, we got Baker Hughes rig count at 1 o'clock. That's it. I'm telling you, it's a really light week. Should get a little volatility around 2 p.m. today. A little bit. All in all, I don't think we'll receive much volatility because just There's too much up in the air. There's too much uncertainty. Let me just say this: when the market sees uncertainty, they tend to lighten their positions. Okay, they don't. I don't know if they completely exit them, but they sure like to lighten them whenever we have uncertainty in the markets. And right now, we've got more uncertainty. Obviously, seeing that they fired upon U.S. ships over there in the Gulf. That's not going to go down lightly, and I think things will probably escalate again. So we'll see what happens, and that is the economic calendar right there. Take a look at Gamma, and let's refresh this. And let's put this on 1. All right, you can see the call wall today is 750, which is well below the daily downtrend line, and the put wall is at 740, and we were all the way down there to the put wall. Actually, we were below the put wall right there earlier this morning. All right, price is kind of rebounding from those lows right now. We're strangely enough, we are in a net positive gamma exposure, but we're deep in the middle of negative gamma territory right here. I don't know how that's working, but we'll see. We'll see what happens today. Meaning, well, if price does get back to the flip will typically act as resistance when you get to the flip. So don't be surprised if price does get back to 747. There will be some resistance there to meet price because that is the flip number between the positive gamma and the negative gamma right there. All right, so looking at the market this morning, we take a look at it. We've got obvious price action underneath prior price action. So that's going to leave me with a bearish bias, kind of a bearish outlook. We're getting a pullback here. I actually think the market's not done. I think the market wants to come a little bit lower. Let me show you where I think it wants to go. All right, so here is, let's just take this off of here and this out of here. Okay, so you can see we have a triple top up here. Okay, so we've got top 1, and this is on the 15-minute chart, but it also shows up on the daily as well. Okay, so we got a top here on the 1st of June, a top here on the 15th of June, and a top here on the first week of July, or second week of July. Okay, actually first week, because this was yesterday. All right, so we've got a triple top, so we could get a hard fall. How far will it fall? It could fall to the bottom of that tail, and maybe even further. But I mean, I think it would find some support right there at that tail, because they obviously found support. So this is it right here, triple top. So just beware, we could get big fall. All right, maybe down to 710, maybe even down to 700. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, the uptrend line right here catches price, and we wind up bouncing back up here to the downtrend line here on SPY. But anyways, you can see the 749, which we traded yesterday. Take this out of the way, and right in this box, and you can see 749 right there, and we traded that down to the downside right down here to 746.20, which happened to be our support. Also the midpoint right there. So price right now kind of rebounding. So it did a little double bottom All right, so it did a bottom here and then a bottom there. So now it's going to go out. It's on the hunt. All right, it is on the hunt for resistance. All right, now where should it find resistance? Probably right here, but not much there on that pivot. So it may have to go all the way up to here. So anywhere between here and here, where we found resistance yesterday, okay, it should find resistance. So might not find resistance till we get the gap fill. All right, that's a possibility as well. Okay, we do have rubber band candle right here, and we have price closing over it. So we have ourselves a dedicated 10-minute uptrend right now. Okay, so we've got a 10-minute uptrend, but they should find resistance right here at the bottom of this candle wick. Actually, that would be better right there. So right in through there, and that is 745.49. All right, they should find some resistance. They may cut through it. They may spike it really hard. They may even trade through it a little bit and then trade back down this way. We'll see what happens. But there's SPY on the 10-minute chart. Currently, we have 10-minute uptrend, so we're getting a retracement of that big move down back to resistance, and I think they'll find some resistance right through here. So I'm looking to trade that short as soon as I see 5-minute downtrends once it gets up to this area right through here. We'll see what happens. Last time we dipped, bulls bought it back up. See this? We dipped, and the bulls bought it back up. Bulls might be ready to buy this all the way back up as well. Not expecting to get a whole lot off of, how do I say it? I don't know why fishing came to my mind. Just lost my train of thought there. All right, so we're on the hunt for resistance, and I think we'll find it right through here. Okay, right around 745.50, right there. So my plan again, got a bearish bias, trade the 5-minute downtrend coming out of that area. All right, we'll see how far up they want to go. They might even gap fill. I don't remember us gap filling yesterday. Okay, I think we actually failed to gap fill yesterday. So that was a bearish clue leading into the open yesterday. I don't know if we gap filled today. That will be another bearish clue leading right into the open today. All right, I'll take questions in the room. If not, I'll see you guys in 45 minutes, and we'll open up the markets. All right, and trade them live together. Okay, thank you, everybody. I'll see you in 45 minutes.